Designer note, subject 69. A lovely girl named Megan was enjoying her holiday with her family and decided to spend the morning hiking through the majestic mountains. Unfortunately, she got lost and is in dire need of rescuing. Of course, the valiant hero that you are, you want to come to the aid of our dear damsel in distress. Which watch would you pick in your quest to find Megan? Let's not have her wait any longer and take the Seiko Alpinist, and here's a crash course as to why it's the one to bring. Like, comment, and subscribe for content you'd like to see next. Follow us on Instagram at Design Atelier Aruba for behind the scenes content. Email us at designatelierviewer@gmail.com. Seiko introduced the Alpinist wristwatch in 1961 with the intention of becoming a reliable timepiece for Japanese mountain climbers and other sports enthusiasts alike. The production of this watch was important because it was the first real attempt at making a sports watch by Seiko. This watch needs to withstand the harsh climate of the mountains of Japan and yet graceful enough to be worn at formal occasions. There has been over 7 generations of alpinists, starting with the Laurel Alpinist and followed by the Champion 850 line. The rest of the generations are then known as Alpinist, with varying movements and configurations. There are two distinct design directions between the lines of models. The first 2 generations used the common 60s aesthetics of thinner case sides, smaller crowns, and clean, simple indicators. Sharp Dauphine hands was the initial signature of the Alpinist that most younger generations are surprised to see. Most of the markers are rectangular, but there are triangular 3, 6, 9, and 12 indices that could be an homage to the mountaineering recreational activities that these watches are created for. The lugs are pretty long and straight. It's also a little on the narrow side compared to the later generations. This would sport a manual wind movement that beats at 18,000 beats per hour, housed within a water-resistant case. Later in the second generation, automatic versions of the movement started to appear. It looks formal, but reliable enough against tough conditions and outdoor wear. It was highly legible, even though they are only constructed with a 35mm diameter. After the 2 generations in the 1960s, the Alpinist would not have a new line until 30 years later with the prospect range of Seiko watches. The new Red Alpinist, named after the Red Alpinist text on the dial, would have some major design changes. The case is now wider due to the thick bezel. The lugs are now shorter and wider at the base as well. There would be a slight crown guard at the 2 o'clock position, while sprouting an extra crown at the 4 o'clock, which is used to turn the newly added compass inner ring on the dial. On the crystal, we start to see the Cyclops display to aid the date window that's added in this line. This is to the dismay of some people, but it serves a purpose. Also worth noting that not all Alpinist versions from here onward sports this Cyclops display. There are now numeral configurations while adding a minute track on the outside perimeter. There are now a lot of text lines added to boast the features of the new tool watch. The most noticeable change can be found on the hands that now sports a cathedral-style shape with generous applications of lume. The movement used in these third-generation Alpinists are also upgraded with hacking seconds, hand-winding crown, and higher beat frequencies at 28,000 beats per hour. There's also a GMT version that sports the 8F56 super accurate quartz movement. These 8F56 models are highly sought after in collector circles. These ones also sport titanium metal cases that's perfect for tough freezing climates. Another notable model is the SSASS Alpinist, which stands for the 7 Summits Actions for Sustainable Society. This project was created by Ken Noguchi in an effort to raise awareness for the heaps of garbage being left behind by expedition teams on their mountain treks. This one has a distinct blue dial and compass ring, accented beautifully with orange. By 2006, the SARB series started to appear, with the SARB 017 becoming an instant success with its fine green sunray dial, accented by gold indices and hands. This is such an elegant combination that it suits all dress codes from casual to business and formal. We would see the shark tooth hour markers on these ones that further emphasizes the sharp nature of this watch line. Although many would recognize the Alpinist in its under 40mm form, there were a couple of 42mm Alpinists with thick outer bezels. There's even one with a range of emergency codes written in the inner chapter ring, the SARB 061. This is perfect for ground-to-air rescue missions. More recently, the Blue Alpinist, which was released only in the United States, was one of the hottest models in the Alpinist line. It's a limited run that quickly garnered much attention and sold out quite rapidly. And finally, last year, the new Alpinists were released under the Prospex line that sports many configurations, including a non-compass chapter ring model and texture dials. In the category of field watches, it's rare to have a watch that can take the hits of the great wilderness and can equally stand toe-to-toe in the office and formal environment. The Alpinist is one of the most versatile watches you can buy, while not breaking the bank, well, at least not yet, with most trading at under $1,000. We have seen Seiko ramping up its prices in recent months, so now could be the time to get one in your collection. Of course, there's the elite level Alpinists that command very steep prices, but the appeal is there, along with the heritage and even an environmental message that comes along with it. It's great to find if you can snag one of the rare models, like the Laurels and the Reds, but you have the option too of getting the more recent affordable models. It's another Japanese all-around tool watch that can go head-to-head with a G-Shock, but with a cachet of a mechanical timepiece. If Casios are not your thing, but want its legendary durability, then the Seiko Alpinist could be just a watch for your adventurous taste. Equally adventurous is our brave Miss Megan, that's now found safe and sound thanks to the Seiko Alpinist and our hero that it's accompanied with. With the Seiko Alpinist, could our hero also win the heart of our fair lady? We'll have to find out on Megan's next adventure.